This review is made possible by Inbound Motorsports. If you are looking to import a car, Inbound Motorsports is by far the most professional and detail-oriented importer I've worked with. Please check out their website or their Instagram up on the screen or linked in the description below.
What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 1988 Toyota Blizzard. Up front is a 2.4-liter turbocharged diesel inline 4, and down below is a 5-speed manual transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Toyota Blizzard because they are incredibly rare here in the United States. They weren't rare around the world, but we never got them. And so this car has a really interesting history that I am very excited to share with you today. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zachpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 2.4-liter turbo diesel under the hood. Well, this is the only way that these cars came, and although it doesn't make any crazy horsepower, it is a workhorse. Toyota knew how to do their diesels back in the day, and I don't have any thoughts or feelings on modern Toyota diesels because I haven't driven one, but of this era, I've driven like Toyota Town Aces and High Aces. They seem to be some pretty good engines, and so I'm excited to hear that about this as well. Now, we'll talk about it later on, but this is actually really a Daihatsu Rocky, but this is a Toyota engine. So Toyota did their own engines, although they borrowed a lot else from Daihatsu. Very cool to see that. Now, like I said, paired to it is a 5-speed manual. This is the only way that this vehicle came. You could only get them in a manual. And it does have a 2-speed transfer case as well, which really adds to that off-road grit that you're looking for with your Toyota Blizzard. Of course, speaking of which, this is 4-wheel drive, like I mentioned, with that 2-speed transfer case. This is quite the hoot off-road, and it definitely has that off-road prowess that you're looking for. It might be small, but it is most certainly mighty. So how does it feel to drive a Toyota Blizzard? First of all, it's strange to be driving one here in America, but it is very rough and tumble. This gear shifter is fighting me tooth and nail. The clutch is giving me the cold shoulder. It's a diesel from the 80s, so it's kind of clunky and loud, and the glow plugs take a second to warm up. It's not like our modern stuff. It's very off-roady, Jeepy type feeling, and that's to be expected, but definitely if you plan on getting one of these and dailying them, just know that you're going to be in for quite the rough ride. Although these were meant for developing countries that didn't have road infrastructure like we do here in America. And so in many places, there isn't a road going to the place where you need to go, and so you got to take it off-road. And that's where this truck really shines, and that's what I love about the Toyota Blizzard. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a lot going on. I do have 2 gauges. Off to the left is my speedometer, and off to the right is my tachometer with little turbo lights in it. Love to see that. That's very cool. Off to the left of the gauge cluster, I have lights for fuel drain, oil, and charge, as well as my coolant temperature. And off to the right, I have my glow plug light, brake light, and my fuel. To the bottom left is my 4-high switch and my rear wiper, and off to the right is my rear defrost. The steering wheel just has the Toyota badge on it. It's really nothing interesting beyond that. And off to the right, I have a climate control vent and some coin holders like I mentioned. And moving out of the door, we have the latch get in and out, and of course the crank for the window. Moving into the center, we do have a quartz clock. Then we do have an altimeter and our battery voltage gauge. Very interesting to see here. We also do have this little, I guess, cassette holder, and it says your favorite automotive goods on the side. Well, I can't confirm nor deny if they're my favorite automotive goods, but they are goods nevertheless, and that's kind of fun. Then we get 2 climate control vents, and our climate controls themselves, very plain and straightforward. Toyota is kind of known for doing this in that era, so to be expected. Cigarette lighter and ashtray down below that, and then an aftermarket radio, because most radios from this era tend to get swapped out anyway. And then we come down to the shifter. Like I said, that shifter that's been fighting me all day today, and it is very rubbery. It's very economy, I guess would be a good word, but again, to be expected out of a vehicle like this. Then we do have the 4-wheel drive settings, so we have 2 high, neutral, and 4 low. Parking brake, and then we have our rear tailgate lock, and then our suspension settings. So if you turn it off, this is just normal mode, And then you can also put it into soft or hard. So putting it into soft, honestly, you do notice quite a bit of a difference, and I'm very pleased with that. And putting it into hard, you will feel every single nook and cranny that these beautiful New Jersey roads have decided to lay before me. So get ready for that. But we'll leave it in soft here today, just for the sake of my back. Unfortunately, however, in the Toyota Blizzard, we don't have any cup holders. So by default, it fails the big friggin' bottle test. Now, the seats are decently comfortable. I love the fact that they say turbo on them. So unapologetically 80s. I love that people were just throwing the turbo word anywhere they could in cars. It's just so sweet, and like, to me, that just makes me smile and chuckle. But the actual seats themselves are very comfortable. You know, for an off-roader like this, I don't really expect much, so this is already exceeding my standards when it comes to an off-road vehicle. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats. However, they are folded up, and there's stuff in the back that doesn't make them unfoldable. So unfortunately, I can't test the back seats for you. Darn it, you don't get to see me scream in agony as I try to get in the back of this vehicle. Dang it. Oh, you're lost, not mine. Most certainly not mine. But let's talk about the trunk. Right around the back of the Toyota Blizzard. Quick handle here, and as you can see, really cool way that they did the bump stops down below. Kind of fun to watch that work. Blank door, not too much stuff going on back here. We have some aftermarket speakers, but plenty of space when the back seats are not being used, which is lovely. You know, this is a very small off-roader, and yet without a back seat, it actually offers a lot of cargo space for your recovery hooks, for, you know, whatever you plan on towing, hauling, whatever it is. You can most certainly do that in the back of the Toyota Blizzard, and I wasn't quite expecting that. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and again, like those seats, I love the turbo accents. I like the dark blue color, and just overall, it's just such an iconically 80s automobile. You know, this is really trying to sell something bigger than it was. So overall, I really do enjoy just looking at the Toyota Blizzard. However, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a Toyota Blizzard? Well, first of all, I have to be one of the only, if not the only person in the United States that's driving a Toyota Blizzard today. They are incredibly, incredibly rare. And although they were sold in the millions across the world, they weren't ever sold here, although a version of this car was known as the Daihatsu Rocky. So, in order to understand that, let's take a quick step back to the early 1980s. Toyota wanted to sell a little off-roader. And so they were buddy-buddy with Daihatsu at this point, and so they rebadged an earlier Daihatsu. The name is currently escaping me, but it's up on screen now. And this is a first-gen Toyota Blizzard. Unfortunately, I didn't have time before the sun went down to drive the first-gen Blizzard. I thought the second-gen was a little bit more fun. But anyway, that's a first-gen Blizzard, and it sold really well across the world, so Toyota decided to do a second gen, but this time they decided to rebadge the Daihatsu Rocky. Now, when I say rebadge, they did add their own engine. So the Rocky had a different engine, and we got the Rocky here in the United States. We actually had Daihatsus for a little bit. However, they didn't sell all that well here because we had bigger off-roaders for not that much more money. The Jeep was on the scene, so people tended to buy those. And when the Suzuki Samurai was ridiculed for its rollover tendencies, it kind of took the Daihatsu Rocky with it. And so it's really cool for me to be driving something that Toyota themselves rebadged. It seems like history always shows that other companies are rebadging Toyotas, like Chevy rebadged the Corolla in the 80s to make the Nova. But this time it was actually Toyota doing so. And so what ended up happening 10 years later in 1998, Toyota actually purchased a controlling share in Daihatsu, and as of today, Daihatsu is just a subsidiary of Toyota. This four-wheel drive vehicle was right at the beginning of that, when Toyota and Daihatsu were buddy-buddy and just kind of figuring things out. So not only is this a cool piece of automotive history, but it's an important part of Toyota's history. And so for that reason, I was so excited, and am still so excited to be showing this to you today. What a wonderful, wonderful automobile. And I am so thankful that Inbound Motorsports allowed me to take this vehicle out to show you. It is quite the treat. When was the last time you saw a Toyota Blizzard? Please leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm curious to see what you think. Did you know what a Toyota Blizzard was before this video? Did you learn what a Toyota Blizzard was in this video? I would love to hear about it. But like I said, huge thank you to Inbound Motorsports. They've been absolutely awesome to work with. They import all kinds of awesome, amazing, unique vehicles, and this is just one of them. They have tons of other inventory. Please, if you don't do anything else today, take a shower, go outside, and check the Inbound Motorsports website. They have tons and tons of eye candy I think you're really gonna wanna check out. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.